Hey guys, just wanted to kind of catch y'all up on Billy James. Most of y'all that are on my channel came from Mr. PIB'S channel. If you didn't, this truck's name is Billy James. This is a 78 or 79 C-10 truck that Mr. and Mrs. PIB kind of brought back from the grave. Very rough old truck when they got it. Kind of a little backstory. Again, it's named Billy James. It was named after its former owner, which is Billy James. He ran Bush Series, as I understand. And he ran with Dale Jr. and his sister. And he says that his sister was a better driver than Junior was. I guess she took more after Senior than he did. But anyway, back then in NASCAR, a woman driver was kind of an unheard of thing. So she never really made a career of it like Junior did. But again, to hear Billy James tell it, the sister was a better driver than Junior. So take that for what it's worth. But anyway, again, Mr. and Mrs. PIB, they bought this truck. This truck was rough. This thing's been in more pursuits, police pursuits, than most other cars can claim, I guess. The fenders were beat all to pieces. The hood, well, I don't even know if it had a hood, but I know it was at one time. The doors, the bed, this truck was just in shambles when Mr. PIB got it. And I told him several times, don't fix it. It's too damn rough. Use it for parts. And about the only part that was good on it was the tailgate. Pretty sure they used that on that truck Sky that he actually bought from me. So anyway, the bed come off of a wrecked truck. I think the same one as the interior came out of. Maybe even the motor. The 400 turbo in it came out of one of my trucks, the big block truck. I cannot speak on the fenders and the doors, but I want to say they came off of the same truck. The bumpers, I don't know about. The bumper guards, the grill, the headlight bezels. Yes, they are the incorrect bezels. I understand that. But if you've seen this truck and knew what it came from, just try to appreciate what it is. Try not to pick out the little minor things. You know, the truck is what it is, and it's a good truck. I really like this old truck. I've drove it a lot. I've ran probably a tank and a half of fuel out of it. Really like the truck. It runs out, it drives good, and it's got a hell of a story to tell. If y'all knew all the stories behind this truck, you'd be really interested in it. It's, again, it's got a really cool history. But anyway, getting back to what I'm doing. I ordered an entire trim set for this truck. As you can see, all this trim all the way around the tailgate. Ordered that from USA 1. Don't order anything from USA 1. They suck. I'll just say that. In my opinion, it seems like I've ordered stuff from them in the past, and I don't remember any of that, but I really do believe I've ordered stuff from USA 1, and it must have been a pretty decent experience because I can't really speak on it. But this particular time, I ordered this trim probably a month or so ago, and I checked on it a little over a week ago because I never got an email saying that it had shipped. So I called trying to get a status. They never called me back. I left my phone number, my name, the order number, all that good stuff. They emailed me back, said this product's on back order, yada, yada, yada. Well, when I ordered it, it never said it was on back order or that it was out of stock. So anyway, that kind of irritated me. So I called them back the next day. And I said, hey, you know, this is, you know, whatever. I've given my name, my number, the order number, yada, yada, yada. And ask them kind of like if they had a kind of an estimated date as to when they would have the trim, or what I need to do to get a refund. So they immediately emailed me back and said that my order had been canceled, and a refund would be issued. And you know, which kind of took me back because it was just a few moments after I had left the email, or after I'd left the voicemail. I'm sorry, I hear a bunch of sirens going down the road, and it's kind of breaking my attention from what I'm doing here. But anyway, so they never called me back, not the first time. So it seems kind of scamish. And again, I wrote them back today. It's been a little over a week. I still haven't got the refund. So anyways, long story short, I would not order from USA 1. Now, Mr. PIB's ordered all this trim from Dave's Truck Parts, and I want to say it's in South Carolina or North Carolina. Can't really remember. I've bought a bunch of stuff from them over the years at the Rod Run. They're always at the Rod Run at the LeConte Center. So he's ordered the trim for this truck, the trim for the 66, and I've ordered a truckload of shit for the 69 GMC. So I'm hoping I got room for all this. I think I do. I'll probably drive my old 03 up there. I'll fold the back seat up, and if I can't fit it all in the bed, I'll stick the lighter stuff in the back seat and maybe in the front seat and bring it back. But anyway, I wanted to get back to what I've done to the truck. We've put a radio in it, speaker in the dash, the correct size speaker in the dash. Of course, I had to take the dash out, all that crap. So the radio's working. It sounds pretty good. I don't have the keys with me. Now, I put a starter on the truck off, and here's what I order starters for. Just kind of a little helpful hint for some of y'all. These old truck starters, if you just call AutoZone, you say you want a starter for a 78 Chevrolet truck, those starters really suck. They're loud, they're obnoxious, you have to shim them. I've got a little old tool here that I can shim them with and make them sound pretty decent. But if you'll order a starter for a 2000 model Chevrolet S10 Blazer, and when I say that, you could order it for, mid-90s up. I always just say 2000. It'd be the same part number for, mid-90s all the way up to, the early 2000s. And it's a little high torque starter, a little mini starter, and they sound great. You don't have to really shim them or anything. They don't even come with shims like the truck starters do. So you just bolt them up, wire them up, and man, they sound great. And they're just a lot better starter. It's a little more money. I want to say $130, $140 more dollars for the little mini starter, but man, they're awesome. And you can order them for a early 90s Camaro, some of the kind of mid 90s trucks, Suburbans, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. Again, just order it for a 2000 Chevrolet S10 Blazer. And 4.3, I believe you'll be happy. Now, if you have the little small flywheel, they won't work. This is the staggered starter. Anyway, again, just a little tip from me. Try that and see what it does for you. You'll see this hood. This hood belonged to a buddy of mine. These stupid damn mosquitoes, they're about to drive me crazy. He kind of stopped by here one day. He had some fenders in this old hood, and this hood's been broke. You can kind of see the crease. But somebody has braced it, and they've done a pretty good job. So it opens and it shuts, and when it shuts, it's flat. This one here, it was bowed in the center. Now, he could have took this one and had it braced, just like this one. But he can spray paint this one a lot cheaper than he could have had this one braced. So maybe he'll have that one braced, do something with it later on. Matter of fact, this hood come off of a parts truck at K&K Auto, I do believe. Anyway, so I threw this hood on it. It's not going to cost him nothing. This hood was on a trailer that was going to the scrapyard the next day, had I not bought it. So I got this one and the fenders. It is what it is, guys. It kind of matches this old truck. And again, if you knew what this truck come from, you'd really appreciate where it's at today. But so hood, starter, radio, speaker. We're going to finish lowering this truck. It's got a lift block in the back. And again, getting back to Billy James, if you knew Billy James the way I knew him, there's no telling why the hell that lift block's in the back. So I'm going to take the lift block out of it. I've looked at the spring hanger that Tim Dixon put on it. I think it's a 3-inch lowering spring hanger in the back. And it's got a what I believe to be a 2-inch drop shackle in the back. And I think it's got a 3-inch drop spindle in the front. Now, most of y'all know, I know Tim Dixon well, is a good friend of mine, but he's probably lowered a half a dozen or more of these since he's lowered this truck. He don't remember exactly what he done to it. So it's all just a guess. I'm just kind of looking at where the truck's sitting and kind of figuring that's where it's at. So I've ordered a pair of 2-inch lowering springs for the front. So I'm going to put the lowering springs in the front, run it up and down the road, see where the truck sits, and then we'll go to the back. So when I go to the back, I'm going to take the, of course, it all depends on where this front end setting as to exactly what order I do all this, but take the lift blocks out, and see kind of where it sets, and then we might take the overload springs out. As long as it sets level, I'm happy. If it has a little bit of a rake in the back, I'm good with that too, but I don't want it setting lower in the rear than it is in the front. I think that's just the silliest shit. Kind of like some of the Carolina squat stuff. Most of y'all have probably seen it. We won't get into all that, but anyway, I just want the truck setting either level or maybe just a little higher in the back than it is in the front. Either way, I want the whole truck a little bit lower than it is now. And we'll send it back to them, let them put their little touches on it. Maybe, he says he's going to paint the truck. I think this old truck could just be damn killer with, you know, kind of a red and white two-tone. Or it's hard to beat solid white. I love white on the square body. So either red and white or back solid white. We'll see what he does with it. And hopefully after the rod run, I can get the truck back once I have the trim. And again, I'm going to try to get this thing finished up this coming Saturday. That'll be my next day off. And maybe get it back to him. Then him and Mrs. PIB can kind of throw their little touches at it. And then I can get it back after rod run, put the trim on it. See if he's going to leave these wheels. He's talked about taking these wheels off. Don't know if he will or not, but maybe put some rallies back on the truck. Maybe keep these wheels for the left turn bill or the 66. Again, all that's kind of in limbo, so we'll see where he's at on it. But either way, it's fixing to be a different truck. Again, I know just at a glance, it seems like just an old rough Chevrolet truck. But again, if you know the backstory, you'd really appreciate it. I think that's all I've done to it. Of course, I've tuned on the carburetor, little stuff like that. I've run about a tank and a half of gas out. I can't remember if I mentioned that earlier or not. I've done this video a couple times, had a few interruptions, but anyway, it is what it is, and I'm real proud of it. I really like this truck. If I had more room, if I had a little more time to fool with stuff, I would buy this truck. And if I were any of y'all, if you're in the market for one, I really think y'all would appreciate this thing. I mean, this is just a good running and driving old truck. Again, it's going to be totally different. I'm going to try to line this bed up a little better and put the trim on it, get it a little bit lower to the ground. But you can kind of see the old radio I put in it. Kind of overlooked the seat belts and the list of stuff to do there. But once he gets this thing, of course, they put their little touch on it, repaint it, get it cleaned up. We get it lowered on down, the trim. It's going to be a totally different truck, guys. Check with him if you're interested. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's, again, really good truck. I'd jump in this truck and I'd go to Panama tomorrow, and it's just a good running, driving old truck. Guys, I appreciate you watching. I said I was going to try to make it quick, and here we are at right at 13 minutes. So I'm going to get out here and try to do another one. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.